Hello and welcome. Today we are talking about the digital revolution in the insurance industry. Now, digitization has touched almost all aspects of our lives and all the industries too, including the insurance industry. In fact, post-COVID, we saw the insurance industry going in for several innovations, from video KYCs to online verifications to online inspections of car accidents and so on. I am Nidhi Sinha, editor Outlook Money, and I have with me Mr. Tapan Singhel, MD and CEO of Bajaj Allianz General Insurance, and he'll tell us about how digitization has made a difference not just to the insurance industry but also created a lot of convenience for policyholders and customers. Welcome, Mr. Singhel. So my first question is about this. We keep talking about the convenience that digitization has created, and not just for the customers who can do certain things while sitting at home, but also for the insurers who may have cut down a lot of paperwork and time. So what has been your experience so far?
So those are the easier parts of digitization, no? I think cutting down paperwork or no, reaching out faster or an email or no. But let's talk of the bigger points of digitization. Yeah. Let's say when COVID happened, nobody knew how to handle that. No hospital, no doctor knew, no protocol. But do we realize that insurance companies actually would have data flowing in, which would be showing that somewhere something is happening good, somewhere something is going wrong, no? Because they would be getting it on a real-time basis. Now, if that data could have been used by the government or no, the World Health Organization to be able to fast track the learnings, which would have benefited millions of people across the globe. So one, in an era of digitization and data, in health especially, you can actually solve a lot of things that are very hyperscale at a very hyper speed. So that is one which excites me in terms when I look at digitization. Second thing, if I look at now, everybody did their own island of digitalization. Hospitals did their own, insurance did their own. So today also, when a cash will be happening, the hospital would get the data, then send it to insurance company, then they would look at it. Then why can't it be all plug and play? Why can't it be real-time basis? Right. So as an industry, we are putting up a platform, in which we have all hospitals, getting plugged in. We have all insurance companies getting plugged in, and there'll be a seamless transition happening, which actually means from a customer perspective, a customer just walks in and walks out because everything gets paid a real-time basis, and that is what it's going to lead to. So fast forward in a couple of years' time, the real impact of digitization would be saving many lives, getting better protocols, real-time basis of claim settlement. I think then the impact would really be felt. These impacts are good. You save time, you make it paperless, people have access, people can look at the claims online, people can file their claims online. But those, I think, are the easier part of digitization. I think that is given. True. But these are the high impact part of digitization, which I see happening for the world and for the industry.
Right, right. So another, you were talking about it, that's why I'm asking a question, that hospitals and insurers, at some points during COVID, they were seen as not being on the same page in some cases. Has that kind of improved, and has digitalization really helped in that aspect? So
I don't think it's a question of not being on the same page. If I look at in the COVID protocol across the world, a lot of places, because COVID is not covered in insurance policies, claims do not get paid. But in India, every claim of COVID got paid, and the industry paid close to 40,000 crores in health, and they did not hesitate to pay. The issue would come in if people try to exploit or make benefit of crisis, right, which is wrong. So let's say if somebody goes to hospital, beds are not available, and a treatment would cost you, let's say about 10,000 or 20,000 rupees, and you have to pay 10 lakh rupees for that. You can't do that. That is where the exploitation starts happening. Or let's say if a patient does not require a steroid injection, and just because it gives you more margin and somebody gets that, it's harmful for the patient, I think. So as I mentioned, because of the huge database the insurance industry has, and the protocols that is being followed, and they have all the access to all the protocols being recommended by WHO and by the government, and what's the right way to do a treatment, I think they in a way keep a balance if things are going wrong, which is a very critical balance from a consumer perspective. With that, and the consumer is lost. The poor person is a question of life and death. So he would listen to anybody who tells him that this is like the magical sauce to but it can actually be very, very harmful. I think you have to be very cautious about what are you looking at it. I think that is the balance. So somewhere where there is exploitation happening, this balance was important too. But if you look at the amount of claims paid, the amount of money which was given out at that point in time, and the industry did not go to the government asking for subsidy or for SOPs or relief. It did not. Every other industry went and asked for SOPs, relief, subsidies, but the insurance industry did not go. They did their duty, they paid huge amount of claims, and they did it very gracefully.
Right. So another thing about the digital revolution in general insurance especially is that it has led to a lot of customization of products, and that is also leading to intense competition among insurers, especially with a lot of new players coming in which are not maybe legacy firms. So where is the industry headed in this scenario? What do we expect in terms of customization innovations?
First of all, I would expect like thousands of more companies to come in.
Okay.
No, because India has only 60 companies. The US has 6,000.
Yeah.
So in 60, if you feel so happy in terms of competition and products, I would be super delighted if we have 1,000 more companies coming. Competition is the fuel for excellence. I always say that. No, the
Right.
more the merrier. Because everybody has to push to do something good for customer. So if today 60 people are doing it, tomorrow 6,000 are doing it. The customer is going to get the best of innovations, the best of solution, the best of kind of products. That is always a very, very welcome move. I remember 2001, before private companies came in, the only distribution was agency. Today you see the distribution, you see the number of products, see the number of lives covered. It's a phenomenal shift from where it has happened. The more the merrier.
Okay, that's great, and especially with health penetration, insurance penetration needing a big push, maybe it's good that more companies come in.
They should come in.
But when we are talking about digitalization, we can't but talk about AI and the role of artificial intelligence that is happening. I was reading somewhere that at some place that there are sensors in the car itself which kind of read the driver behavior, fix premiums accordingly, and things like that. But these kind of steps, how far is India from reaching these kind of steps and outcomes?
No, it's already there. We were the first to come out with telematics. I must be about 7-8 years before. So India in digitalization and technology is at the cutting edge. I think quite a few things that we have done was first in the world. AI, ML, if you see it, like machine learning basically as we call it or no. I mentioned to you about the huge database that insurers generate.
Right.
No, you run machine learning on that, and I can promise you that millions of lives would actually be saved or become better because of the data that we have, and that is what is how the insurance industry has to link to the health industry, and it has to be a collaborative effort in making a huge difference. No? That is where that machine learning would play a big role. The normal case of machine that you see today or AI you see today is that if a claim comes in, it will read the document, scan the document, it will figure out what is the protocol, what has to be reimbursed, what is the excess, it will do all that stuff. What is the genuineness of the claim, the fraud analytics, all that is happening right now, which I think every good company would be utilizing it. So that I don't think these are, in my view, efficiency of processes.
Okay.
But the high impact, as I mentioned to you, is working on data for figuring out what illness is, what is working where, how do you solve that. Working on the AI to tell you in advance that if you look at cars like you mentioned, telematics. Today, if you are driving a car, it can actually tell you that the engine is going to get out, no problem. It can tell you that the tire pressure is going to come down. So why would you not, as a person, be happy to know that this is going to go wrong with you? So you can do something better about it.
Right.
So with all this happening, I think the world is getting to very exciting times. But it has to be used well. It has to be used with the single-minded focus and obsession to make human life better. I think that is what is very critical.
Right. So claim settlement has always been a pain point, whether it is any kind of insurance, and especially health insurance. So do you think that the whole thing of digitization can really play a role in that and make it more efficient? Because a lot of people would say that okay, there are some biases that crept in, but here it is a machine maybe which is looking at things very objectively. So what is your view on that?
So first, I think this is a perception issue of claims being a pain point. And it's good you mentioned that. I think quite a few people have this perception.
Yeah.
So I'll ask a lot of people this question, that did you have a claim? and no, let's say 10 of us standing, and what was your feeling? So the one which had a bad experience would mention about it, and then I go deeper and explain why the experience was there. 9 which had a good experience would just be thinking, but it should be smooth for them, no? So they would have no issues, because if you look at the industry, you'll be surprised to know, and this all regulatory, publicly available data. Insurance industry has the least grievance to the number of customers in the financial sector, in the e-commerce sector, in all sectors. That is so interesting. It has the least grievance, compared to any other sector. But the perception is there, because it's in times of crisis that things happen, so people get it. So in claims, the biggest issue you have to be careful about is that, let's say health claim. If your health policy is new, and if you have a claim, and not an accidental claim, right? If it is like a heart related claim or a cancer or something, and the policy is new, then obviously the industry starts thinking that this may have been taken after you are aware that you have this.
Yeah.
Which is not the way the policy works, because then everybody who falls ill goes, takes a policy, and then the policy pays, and the industry will just close down tomorrow, no? It cannot work. It only works that you have a policy when you have no illnesses, and it develops, it pays. If you have an old policy, and I guarantee this to anybody who's watching the show, from any company, if you have a policy which is more than 5-6 years old and things go wrong, I'll be surprised if you have a problem with the claim. It will be smooth, because as I said, this data shows that over 96-97% claims get paid smoothly with no issues. But if you have a new policy, and if you have a claim, then the industry will start verifying whether it was a genuine customer, or it's a fraud, or somebody's taken the policy after the illnesses have occurred, or it has been and that is where the conflict starts coming in. So digitalization will not change that.
Okay.
Digitalization only makes the process simpler. That is why I always recommend people take a policy when things are going good. Make friends when you're doing well in life. So I think it's like that, no? Otherwise, later when you're lonely in life, then you start doing your friends. Maybe it's too late, no? Or you take a policy when things go wrong. Maybe it's too late.
So we have, like you mentioned, we have seen a lot of changes, especially after post-COVID, and especially in the urban milieu. But what about Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities? What, according to you, has been the uptake, and how far has it gone ahead in the hinterland?
So maybe one important thing we should look at, insurance and government, they work together. The health policy for all, if I look at it from a perspective of the below poverty line which the Prime Minister announced, that takes health across spectrum, across cities, towns, to everyone, and that creates an infrastructure for, it's a 5 lakh basic cover that you have, which creates infrastructure, and a huge segment of population gets covered there. And because of a good sum insured, you have a lot of good hospital chains looking at opening up, hospital in Tier 2, Tier 3, because now you have a flow of money happening. So it's always a very positive cycle. The more insurance penetration increases, the more hospitals have a good flow of business coming in, and they're more open network, and more doctors come into play, and that increases the lifespan of the country as a whole. I think it is so powerful that if you think about it, it's very, very, very interesting from a data point of view. So Tier 2, Tier 3 villages is going to reach to that level. It's already reaching. I can see the percolation happening. I see a lot of penetration happening now. I think it's going to go up to the village level. The regulator is already working on with the industry in terms of the Bima Wahak and Bima Vistar coming in, which is at the panchayat level, So you would see that happening.
Okay, that's great news, because a lot of changes that we see in the urban milieu, and then we wonder that what is happening. India is such a huge country. So, but finally, my last question is about seniors. Like we have been talking about the benefits of digitization, but sometimes we see that seniors may not be so well versed with technology as, say, a younger person. So how do insurers, as an industry, how do you guys are looking at facing that challenge, or kind of dealing with their problems?
So first, again, it's a myth. In my house, my father and my younger daughter do e-commerce the best.
Okay.
I am the most useless guy. So I don't think, if you look at Facebook, if you look at e-commerce, I see seniors using it very, very well, because they're simple procedure. I don't think we should be undermining anybody, no, by saying. So when I see kids doing a great job, I see. In fact, I feel that I am the one who is no missing out. I used to think I'm very digitally savvy in all this process. Having said that, I think the industry also has a lot of support in terms of like I told you, we have a product in which you actually have a watch which has an SOS button. So you do nothing, just press it. We call you.
Okay.
No. And if it doesn't get picked up, we send an ambulance over.
Okay.
We take you and get you treated. So it can't be simpler than that, just a push of a button. No,
Yeah.
you do nothing else. So we have a product of that nature also.
Okay.
So as I said, that we always keep on looking at where are the gaps and how do we fill that on. So that is what we're doing today.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Singhel, for this insightful talk. And for our viewers, digitization, of course, is the next step. It is already there. It's just taking the next big leap, and the insurance industry definitely seems to be well prepared for it.